Hey there, good morning. How's it going? I hope everyone is well. It's another beautiful day here today, and we are here to do the Course in Miracles lessons. Lesson for today is lesson 152, and let's get right on it. The power of decision is my own. The power of decision is my own. No one can suffer loss unless it be his own decision. No one suffers pain except his choice elects this state for him. No one can grieve, nor fear, nor think him sick unless these are the outcomes that he wants. And no one dies without his own consent. Nothing occurs but represents your wish, and nothing is omitted that you choose. Here is your world, complete in all details. Here it is, its whole reality for you. And it is only here salvation is. You may believe that this position is extreme and too inclusive to be true. Yet, can truth have exceptions? If you have the gift of everything, can loss be real? Can pain be part of peace or grief of joy? Can fear and sickness enter in a mind where love and perfect holiness abide? Truth must be all-inclusive, if it be the truth at all. Accept no opposites and no exceptions, for to do so is to contradict the truth entirely. Salvation is the recognition that the truth is true and nothing else is true. This you have heard before, but may not yet accept both parts of it. Without the first, the second has no meaning, but without the second, is the first no longer true. Truth cannot have an opposite. This cannot be too often said and thought about. For if what is not true is true, as well as what is true, then part of truth is false. And truth has lost its meaning. Nothing but truth is true, and what is false is false. This is the simplest of distinctions, yet the most obscure, but not because it is a difficult distinction to perceive. It is concealed behind a very vast array of choices that do not appear to be entirely your own. And thus the truth appears to have some aspects that belie constancy, but do not seem to be but contradictions introduced by you. As God created you, you must remain unchangeable, with transitory states by definition false, and what includes all shifts in feeling, alterations in conditions of the body and the mind, in all awareness and all response. This is all inclusiveness, which sets the truth apart from falsehood, and the false kept separate from the truth, as what it is. It is not strange that you believe to think you made the world you see in arrogance. God made it not. Of this you can be sure. What can he know of the ephemeral, the sinful and the guilty, the afraid, the suffering and lonely, and the mind that lives within a body that must die? You but accuse him of insanity, to think he made a world where such things seem to have reality. He is not mad, yet only madness makes a world like this. To think that God made chaos contradicts his will, invented opposites to truth, and suffers death to triumph over life. All this is arrogance. Humility would see at once these things are not of him. And can you see what God created not? To think you can is merely to believe you can perceive what God willed not to be. And what could be more arrogant than this? Let us today be truly humble and accept what we have made as what it is. The power of decision is our own. Decide but to accept your rightful place as co-creator of the universe, and all you think you made will disappear. What rises to awareness then will be all that ever was, eternal as it is now, and it will take the place of self-deceptions made but to usurp the altar to the Father and the Son. Today we practice true humility, abandoning the false pretense by which the ego seeks to prove it arrogant. Only the ego can be arrogant. But truth is humble in acknowledging its mightiness, its changelessness, and its eternal wholeness, all encompassing. God's perfect gift to his beloved Son. We lay aside the arrogance which says that we are sinners, guilty and afraid, ashamed of what we are, and lift our hearts in true humility instead to him who has created us immaculate like himself, in power and in love. The power of decision is our own, and we accept of him that which we are, and humbly recognize the Son of God. To recognize God's Son implies as well that all self-concepts have been laid aside and recognized as false. Their arrogance has been perceived, and in humility the radiance of God's Son, his gentleness, his perfect sinlessness, his Father's love, his right to heaven and release from hell are joyously accepted as our own. Now do we join in glad acknowledgement that lies are false, and only truth is true. We think of truth alone as we arise, and spend 5 minutes practicing in ways encouraging our frightened minds with this. So we will say, the power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. Let me repeat that. The power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. Then we will wait in silence, giving up all self-deceptions as we humbly ask ourselves that he reveal himself to us, and he who never left will come again to our awareness, grateful to restore his home to God, as it was meant to be. Sorry, I pushed the camera. In patience, wait for him throughout the day, and hourly invite him with words with which the day began, concluding it with this same invitation to yourself. God's voice will answer, for he speaks for you and for your Father. He will substitute the peace of God for all your frantic thoughts, the truth of God for self-deception, and God's Son for your illusions of yourself. Wow, that's a beautiful lesson. What is it telling us? The power of decision is my own. So, basically we have to understand that it is in our hands. It is up to us to make that decision. The power is in our hands. We decide what kind of experience we want to have. Do we want to have the experience that's filled with joy, filled with happiness, filled with love, and filled with peace? Or do we want to feel the experience that most of us are feeling right now, which is riddled with fear, riddled with sadness? There are some highs. You're happy at times, but then comes the low. Now, is that the kind of experience that we want to have? And that's the choice we have to make. And by doing that, we have to turn away from what we believe has all these years been true. We grew up believing it was true. It was told to us it was true. We saw it with our human eyes and believed it was true. We experienced the human pain and believed it was true because the body reaffirmed it. And so on, so on, and so on. It just continues and continues because we get reaffirmed daily through our eyes, through our body, through our experiences, that this is the real world. This right here is the real world. But it isn't. That's not the real world. And it's for us to make that conscious choice to turn away from it and see it for what it really is. There's beauty. There's wonderfulness in all of this experience. But we need to see past what our eyes are seeing and see what is truly there. And that's a choice we have to make. The power of decision is in my own hands, or the power of decision is my own. Sorry, I ad-libbed. But it is the truth. We have the choice, and we have to make it. God is there waiting for us to make that choice. He's never left. He's never gone. He's waiting patiently for us to realize and remember who we are and who He is, And when we do that, it's a freeing, liberating, wonderful feeling. It just brings so much peace and so much joy if we would all just make that choice. If we would all collectively come together and realize, this is what I really want. God created me one way, I am still that way, and I choose to remember what that way is. And that's what it is. It's a choice. So today the lesson asks us to do 5 minutes in the morning. Think, say, what is it asking us to say? Let me bring it up again. 1 second. It says, the power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. So we got to accept it. How did God create you? He created you perfect. He created you filled with joy, filled with love, filled with peace, always happy. That's how God created you. And it's your choice. The power is in your hands to accept it. You have to accept it. You have to make that choice. Consciously make that choice and do the work. Let go of the illusion. Let go of those old beliefs. Bring new beliefs. Start seeing everyone and everything through the eyes of God. See love in everything that you encounter. Every encounter is a holy encounter. Remember, God is in everything and God is in everyone. And everyone you come in contact with is God. So, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes every hour. Do your best. I will do my best. And I hope you are spending time with those you love. I hope you are enjoying the wonderful experiences that you are being given. And I hope that today you are grateful for your life. Have a wonderful day. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.